Hi everyone, today the session is on the articulated skeleton of foot and the arch of foot. Now the foot consists of number of short bones and they known as the tarsal bones posteriorly. There are 7 tarsal bones. One is the big one that is known as the calcaneum, which forms our heel. Above the calcaneum there is another bone that articulates with the lower articular part of the tibia and the fibula articular part and forms the ankle joint. So that bone is known as the talus, and this is a bone where no muscle is attached, only ligament is attached. Next is in front of the head of the talus. You will see this is the head of the talus. This is the superior articular surface of the talus and this is the head of the talus. Now this head of the talus articulate with a boat-shaped bone and that is known as the navicular bone. So this is the navicular bone, and in front of the navicular bone you will see there are 3 cuneiform, the medial cuneiform, the largest one, the intermediate cuneiform, that is the smallest one, and the lateral cuneiform, that is intermediate between the two. And extreme laterally there is a square shaped bone which is known as the cuboid. You see, this is the cuboid bone. So these are the 3 cuneiforms, medial, intermediate and lateral, and this is the cuboid bone. In front of the 3 cuneiform bone, there are articulation with the bone that is known as the metatarsal. Now this metatarsal, the first metatarsal articulate with the medial cuneiform, intermediate cuneiform articulate with the second metatarsal, the lateral cuneiform articulates with the third one. And in front of the cuboid bone you will see there are 2 metatarsal articulated, one is 4th, another is the 5th one. Now the 5th metatarsal has got a styloid process, you see here, this is which you can palpate in the middle of the lateral border of the foot. Now rest of this bone they constitute the phalanges. Now there are about 14 phalanges, out of which the 4th finger contains the 3 phalanges and the first great toe it contains the 2 phalanges. So you will see the tarsal, metatarsal, it forms a curve and this curve remains your foot above the ground and this curve is known as the arch of foot. Now why this arch of foot is necessary? Because arch of foot is necessary. This foot is a dynamic platform. Always we move, we run, we do sports, everything it depends upon the foot, and the weight of the body is transmitted efficiently and economically to the ground. So there is the arch of the foot. It also protects the plantar vessels and nerve which passes on the sole of the foot. Now how this foot, arch of the foot is maintained? Why there is no fattening of the foot commonly? Because it is maintained, first factor is the bony factor. The bony factor, but the bones are so faceted that it will articulate with each other in such a way that they forms an arch itself. Next is the ligaments, that means the intersegmental tears. That means the small fibrous tissue ligament, they connect the adjacent bones and these ligaments are known as the cuneo-navicular ligament. Another is the talo-navicular ligament. So in this way they are known as the intersegmental tears. Now the arch of foot is, one is longitudinal arch. This is up to the from the first metatarsal up to the medial part of the tuberosity of the calcaneal bone. This is the medial longitudinal arch. On the opposite side, you will see from the fifth metatarsal tip up to the lateral tubercle of the calcaneum. This is the lateral longitudinal arch. The lateral longitudinal arch, the height is less, and the medial longitudinal arch, the height is more. If you place your foot over a pan consists of water, and then you walk in between the floor, you will see there are the footprint, and this footprint you can understand the medial side, it is more higher than that of the lateral side. So the arch of the foot are two in nature. One is the longitudinal arch, that is the medial longitudinal arch. Another is the lateral longitudinal arch. And there are also not only the longitudinal arches, you will see there are transverse arches also. You will look at this. There are posterior transverse arch which is incomplete, and there is anterior transverse arch which is complete in nature, formed by the metatarsal bone. And this posterior transverse arch is formed by only the tarsal bone. So I have told you the bony configuration, the ligaments, they actually binds the adjacent bones, they maintain the arches. Now one of these ligament is very important, and that ligament goes from the sustentaculum talli up to the tuberosity of the navicular bone. So this ligament is known as the plantar calcano-navicular ligament. You will see here, you will see this is the plantar calcano-navicular ligament, and this is also known as the spring ligament. And you know it is very important for short note, because the flat foot is due to mainly the incapability of the spring ligament to hold the arch. So this is known as the spring ligament. Next thing is that there are bowstring arrangement or tie beam arrangement. What do you mean by the bowstring arrangement? That means the posterior end of the foot and the anterior end of the foot is connected by muscles or some aponeurosis. So this is known as the bowstring arrangement or sling arrangement. Sorry, this is the bowstring arrangement. Now you will see that the bowstring arrangement, you will look here, the first layer of the sole. This is the first layer of the sole. You will see this is the first layer. In this first layer of the sole, there are three muscles. One is abductor hallucis, another is the abductor digiti minimi, and in the center there are the flexure digitorum. So these three muscles actually maintains the longitudinal arch by the bowstring arrangement. Next is another arrangement is there, that is known as the sling arrangement. All of you know, when there is fracture of the bone of the hand, we will make a sling and suspend the sling from our neck. Similarly, the medial longitudinal arch is suspended by sling from the above, which one it is done by muscle which is known as tibialis anterior, that is the main inverter of the foot. The lateral longitudinal arch, similarly it is actually supported by the sling arrangement which is known as the peroneus brevis and also the peroneus longus. So this is the sling arrangement, how it can, the tendons hold the arch of the foot from above. So this is about the longitudinal arches of the foot. Next thing is the transverse arch. Here you will see the transverse arch, that means this is the transverse arch, and they are maintained by muscle, and that muscle is known as adductor hallucis muscle. So this adductor hallucis muscle has got two parts. This is the oblique part of the adductor hallucis and this is the transverse part of the adductor hallucis. So this actually maintain the transverse arch in position. So this is how the arch is maintained. And by the sling arrangement you will see there is another attachment, that is attachment of a tendon. So it goes below this adductor hallucis and ultimately it crosses the groove on the undersurface of the cuboid and it is attached at the first metatarsal bone. So this is how the transverse arch is maintained by sling arrangement by the peroneus longus tendon. So this comes from above and goes below and attached into the first metatarsal bone. Now this arch of foot, there are different deformities of the arch of foot. Most common deformity is the flat foot. That means the height of the arch is less. If there is the height of the arch is less, then what will happen? The patient cannot stand for a long time. So they have this flat foot candidate, they are out of service from the military as well as from the police service and of the service of a caretaker. Now there may be the high arch foot. Now this high arch foot, the transmission of the body weight is also occurs faultily. Now how the weight of the body is transmitted to the ground? From our body, suppose if we are 72 kg in weight, so 72 kg falls on two hip joint, about 36 and 36 each hip joint. Now this 36 kg is actually transferred into the talocrural or ankle joint. Now from here the weight divides into two segments. One is anterior pillar, another is in the posterior pillar. So posterior pillar, there is actually the 18 kg passes through this, that's why you will see the heel print is more, and from the anterior pillar the passes the another 18 kg. Now this anterior pillar is again subdivided into 6 toes because this first toe is among the size of the double to the size of the another toe. That's why the first metatarsal is very much strong. So here you will get 6 kg weight transmitted and another the 3 kg weights from the other 4 metatarsals. So this is how the 18 kg weight is transmitted to the ground. So if there is any deformity of the arch, if it is treated from the very beginning of the life, it may be congenital or it may be acquired. So this is the end of this topic.